Most people think business is complicated. Look, it's not. You've just been doing it wrong, and that one misunderstanding could cost you absolutely years. Look, I'm a silly scouser with no GCSEs, joined the military and started a business. If I can get this right, everyone can. So in this video, I'm going to break down the entire world of business so that it's really easy to eat, basically. Everything, scaling, operations, marketing, the whole thing in plain English, no MBA, just actually what matters and why. Now, why am I doing it? It's because most people think that they're building a business, right? They start a business, it's all great, but actually they're not. What they've actually done is they've just bought themselves a really stressful job that's badly paid and where the boss is completely unreasonable and the hours are terrible. And I know that because that's exactly what I did at Spore Group. That's the company I co-founded, and we've been running it for 7 years now. We deliver global projects. We were winning clients in the early days and delivering these projects, but we were doing all of the work. Every single month still felt like we had to start from scratch. Now, why is that? It's because back then, when I first started the company, I understood work, but I didn't understand systems and business systems. Now, those two are two very, very different things. Work is the thing that you do. A business system is what makes it sustainable and makes it scalable. And until you understand how the whole machine fits together, the money side, the model, the marketing, the operations, then you're always going to be running on this treadmill and going nowhere fast. And then before you know it, you're then trying to sell it and you're 65 years old and no one wants to buy it because it's not a scalable system-based business. It's based on you, the founder, the glue that holds it all together. Let's fix it, right? 7 parts. Part 1. This is the only formula that matters, right? Every single business on the planet runs on one single equation, and that is revenue minus costs equals profit. That's it. That's business. Let's keep it super, super basic, right? Revenue is the money that comes in from the sales that you make, and it's not the profit. That's just the money that comes in. Costs are everything you spend in order to operate, right? The operations team, the staff, the rent, the marketing, the software, the fancy drinks, the coffee machine, that's the cost, right? And the profit is what's left. The profit is the only number that keeps the lights on. A business without any profit isn't a business, it's just a hobby, or it's a disaster, or it's both, and it's gonna fail. Now, here's where most founders go wrong with this, right? Is they obsess over revenue. Revenue is sexy, the number looks sexy. Revenue sounds impressive at a dinner party when someone says, how big is your business? Oh, £10 million. Great. But revenue doesn't mean anything if costs completely eat it alive. Think of this, right? Tesco does over 60 billion in revenue. Their net profit margin, 3%. 3 pence in every pound. Meanwhile, a decent SaaS company might make 5 million in revenue and keep 70% of it. Which would you rather have? Although Tesco's, I wouldn't mind having that, to be fair. 3% of that is quite a lot of money. But more revenue doesn't necessarily mean more money. It's margin, that's the game, right? That's part 1. Part 2 is how businesses actually make the money in the first place. Now, there isn't one type of business. There are a bunch, and specifically there are 6 main models. And frankly, you can choose whichever one you want. You know, we've got different models have different pricing, different teams, different stress levels, and there's different ceilings as well. Let me talk about the models. You've got B2C, which is business to consumer. You sell directly to people. Apple, Nike, your local coffee shop, a local cycling shop. People decide really quickly, low volume, low prices, but you get through directly to the consumer. Model 2 is B2B, that's business to business. You sell to companies, not individuals. That's what we do, that's what Spore does. We're a B2B company. That's where, you know, there's longer sales cycles, but you get bigger contract values. Relationships matter more than just some ads, and you win through trust and proof and referrals. Model 3 is subscription. Someone pays you every single month. Netflix, Spotify, SaaS tools. This is the holy grail because revenue becomes predictable and it becomes repeatable, and you know what's coming in before the month starts. Most businesses should have some kind of revenue that recurs. We've got a managed service platform called Spore Track, which is our recurring revenue. So we have a managed service side of things where we have the recurring revenue as well. Model number 4 then is marketplace, where you don't sell anything. You connect buyers and sellers and you take a cut. Amazon, Airbnb, recruiters, Uber, you know, incredibly hard to build, but extraordinary at scale. Model number 5 is freemium. This is where we give away a product, but then we charge for the good stuff. So we give away a product to bring people in. LinkedIn is a free product. Dropbox, Spotify, free tiers, and then you get massive volume, but you need massive volume for this to actually work. Most of the small businesses won't go anywhere near this. And then model 6 is D to C, which is direct to consumer. You skip the middleman, you sell straight to the customer, you get better margins, more control, more work than distribution, because distribution would be the middleman, but it's a little bit more work, but you get to get control from that side of things. Most companies are B2B or B2C. You need to know your model and then build your business around it, not the other way around. So understand what that is. The third part then is looking at the numbers that we actually need to know, right? And you don't need an accountant's brain. I'm not an accountant. Like I say, I'm an idiot scouser with no GCSEs, but I managed to know the important numbers. Let's talk about them. Gross profit margin, revenue minus the cost of making your product divided by revenue, right? That's it. This tells you if your pricing is sane, right? Software companies sit around 70 to 90%, retailers 20 to 50%, restaurants around 60 to 70%. And if you don't know yours, make sure you go onto the market and find out what that is. CAC is customer acquisition costs. Now, what does that mean? How much does it cost you to land one new client, right? Add up your total marketing and sales spend, divide it by the new clients won. That's what your CAC is. Lifetime value, LTV. How much does one client spend across a full relationship with you? We've got a golden rule on this one. LTV needs to be at least 3 times your CAC. Refer back, CAC, I just mentioned it. So what that means is, if you're spending £500 to win a client who only ever pays you £600, you don't have a business. You just got a very slow leak. Next thing is churn rate. Understand how many clients are leaving. This is the one that most founders don't track unless it's a real crisis. It should be tracked every single month, every time, so you can make decisions on why your clients are leaving, right? Part 4, we need to make sure we're looking at marketing without any of the nonsense. Here's the thing with marketing, it's not that complicated. It's 4 basic questions. What are you selling? Who needs it? Where do they hang out? And how do you tell them about it? That's it. You can have the best product in the world, but if you're not pushing it in front of people, nobody knows it exists. You can't sell anything. There's no business on that. So understand that piece. The mistake that most founders make is that they start with tactics. And by that, what I mean is, should we be on TikTok? Should we be on Google Ads? Wrong question. The right question is, where is my buyer and what do they need to hear in order to trust me? So as an example, B2B businesses, LinkedIn and referrals, credibility content, case studies, proof, showing up consistently over time. Whereas B2C, social media platforms, short form video, brand, emotion, speed, right? But if you do a bit of both, email is still massively underrated. Most businesses have got a list that they just never talk to. And if that's the case, then you just leave money on the table every single month. And here's the other thing that nobody tells you about either, right? Around marketing. Marketing is a trust machine. You're not going to be able to sell something unless you're turning up and people trust you. You're trying to get somebody to believe that you can solve a problem. So every single piece of content, every ad, every email, it should be doing one job, and that is building belief and building trust. You build trust by consistently showing up.
Salah, Mohamed Salah! Salah! What a moment!
People get used to who you are. And this is one of the 5 lead generation steps that I've written in the download. Link in the description below. You follow those 5 steps, you transform your lead generation into a completely workable machine within the next 30 days, step by step. Really simple, follow it along. Check it out, link in the description. Part 5 then is operations. This is the boring bit, but this is the bit that makes everything else work, right? Operations is what happens after the sale. You've done the sexy bit, you've sold, now you've got to deliver it. Delivery, fulfillment, service, and systems. Most businesses run on gut instinct. The founder holds everything in their head. There's no processes. Things get dropped. Clients, they see it and they feel it, right? And here's the thing that people need to recognize is that your business can only grow as fast as your operations can handle it. If you win too many clients on bad systems, then you're going to damage your reputation that it's taken years to build. And it's always easier to keep a client than to find a new one. So the businesses that scale are not the ones with the best product. They're not the ones with the best marketing. They're actually the ones with the best machine behind the product in order to deliver it. Standard operating procedures, documented processes, clear team roles, metrics that tell you what's breaking, why it's breaking, and how to fix it straight away. We did it at Spore, right? We started this company. We now manage over 1,500 meeting rooms across over 200 enterprise-sized clients globally. Now, none of that happens without having systems in place, full stop. It just doesn't. Last part 6 is scaling. There are 3 real ways to grow. You've got organic, which is more marketing, more clients, more output. It's slow, it's sustainable. And to be honest, it's the right approach for most businesses that are under £1 million in revenue. Remember revenue? Sexy. That's it. You've got investment, which is raising money, growing faster. You give up some equity, it's high risk, it's high ceiling. The right approach if your model is proven and if your market's quite big. And then the final piece, you've got acquisition, where you're buying other businesses. And that's much faster than building from scratch. It's expensive, it's complicated, but it's right for the business with the right strong cash flow in place. We're going through that process now. We're buying other businesses. But most founders, they just want to jump straight into scale before they get the fundamentals right? And that's honestly, it's the worst thing you can possibly do. Scale amplifies everything. That's the good and the bad. If you don't have those good systems in place, it amplifies the whole lot. Get the basics right, then you can grow. Then you can do what we're doing at the moment, which is around acquisition, which is a different video altogether. I'm going to give you a bonus one, right? Mindsets. Apple and Amazon, two of the biggest companies on the planet, both wildly successful, both completely different in philosophy, right? Apple, high margin, premium pricing, obsessive brand control. They make fewer products. They charge more for them. Net profit margins around 24%. Net profit margin, by the way. Nuts. Amazon, low margin, huge, massive volume. They reinvest everything into growth. They're not just optimizing for any profit today. They're building infrastructure for the next decade. Net profit margin on those guys, it's around 5%. Now, neither of them is wrong, right? But you have to know which one you are, and you have to build a system knowing which one you are. Are you building a high margin, high value business that serves fewer clients brilliantly? Or are you building a volume machine that dominates through scale? And if that's the case, get your operations right. Super important. For the case of small, medium businesses, most small businesses, they try to be both and they end up being neither, right? So just think about what you are, pick a lane, and go all in on that particular product, right? On that particular approach. Hopefully this is useful. Like I said, I just wanted to brain dump in terms of what business actually is. And if you want to take it further, then check out the PDF, 5 lead generation steps you absolutely cannot ignore. It's proper stuff. I don't fluff in this stuff. Link is in the description below. You'll transform your lead generation activity over the next 30 days. Just follow those 5 steps. It's as simple as that. But this video is all great, right? Here's the issue with it, right? It's no good understanding how important or how businesses work if your systems are just a complete mess, because a business without a system is just an expensive hobby, and it's just a nightmare for everyone. It's exactly why I made this video here, which talks about systems, and it's the system that every business needs to stop struggling. So go check that out, implement those systems, and grow, scale, and just enjoy it. Hopefully you've enjoyed the video. Like, subscribe, comment below. I read everything, I answer everything, and I'll see you in the next video.